Hello there, Tony from 6-String Country, back for another lesson with Volume 3 of our pedal steel riffs series. What we're doing here is I lifted a couple riffs off some songs from the site and then created some of my own. The purpose behind that being so that we can practice incorporating what we learn as we learn songs into our playing, into our muscle memory, so that we can use them when we're playing other songs. We're focusing on making the Telecaster sound like a pedal steel guitar, and there's a couple tricks that we use to do that. A big part of it is the bending. When you're playing a blues song or something like that, you're doing it more like that. With this, we need it to be mechanical. On the pedal steel, it's pedals that mechanically raise and lower the pitch, so we kind of want to mimic that. You know, and we're going to focus on getting that bent note to be exactly the pitch that we want it to be. And then there's also vibrato, like. And then there's the swelling. So we're going to do volume swells. On my Telecaster here, it's really kind of a parts caster, but reversed the plate so that the first thing that I have here is my volume knob, which makes it real easy to do these swells, you know. But if you don't have it reversed, on a normal Telecaster, it would be your tone selector and then your volume here, and you can still reset. I used to play, actually all my other Telecasters are like that. So that's doable. Or if maybe you have a different guitar where you can reach the volume knob with your pinky, or else you can use a volume pedal. On the pedal steel players use a volume pedal. So any one of those options work, but we're going to really be focusing on those three techniques as we learn these riffs. And then we're going to also figure out how to play them in two other keys. We're going to start in G, then we'll learn them in A, and we'll learn them in C, and we'll talk about little differences that we need to make depending on the key that we're playing in. Let's get going. All right, let's get going and have some fun with this. We're going to start in the key of G for this first one, and then we'll talk about moving it to A, and then we'll talk about moving it to the key of C. So in G, with this first jam along, I lifted this first riff from Whitey Morgan. It starts with a pre-bend. All right, it's a really cool riff. We're pre-bending, so we're up here. You know, these G6ths kind of work like that, right? And we're kind of messing with that. This is the third, and this is the fifth, a B note and the D note, and we're pre-bending this fifth up a whole step. And it's got to feel this, you know. You want that to be right there, a whole step up. So you're playing that note, and then you're bending it down. And we're going to hybrid pick this. We're going to cluck the high E string and pick the G string with our pick, and this is on the 7th fret. And then come down. And you're going to quick hit that 5th fret of G, and then slide down 2 frets, and you're going to do the same kind of motion, still bend a whole step, and then pull off to that 4th fret of G, and then quick hybrid pick that 3rd fret of G, and then we're doing a kind of classic country thing here. So we just got 3rd fret of B, 2nd fret of G, and we're bending this G string. 2nd fret, again hybrid pick this, bring it down, pull off to open, G string, and now we're going to do some swells. Okay, this is another key element of trying to make the Telecaster sound like a pedal steel. We're going to start, now we're on a C chord, so you know, think about a C being here, think about a C being here, and up here, right? And we're going to kind of work through that whole thing. We're going to start on the 5th fret of B, and then I like it, and get that vibrato in there too as you're swelling it in. You want just play around with making that sound like a pedal steel vibrato. You're kind of mimicking that bar going back and forth ever so subtly. And then we're going to move up to the 8th fret, And now we're doing this up here with 13 and 12 of B and E. And then you can just get your pinky on here, 15th fret. So you just want that to be smooth and steely. All right, and now we're all set up for this position 5 pentatonic scale in G, and we're going to swell this in too. All right, this is 14 of G, and then we're skipping the B string. We're going all the way to the 15th fret of the high E string. You know, a lot of times on guitar, we love this one. Oops. Right? To me, it sounds real steely when you skip that B string, and you're creating these sixths, right, when you make that bend. So we're going to swell it in and bend at the same time. And then we're going to leave that G string bent and cluck the 15th fret of high E, back to the G string, back to 12, 15. And now we are going to use that classic guitar bend. We're going to be on the 14th fret of B, 12th fret of G, and we just got done with the riff. Let's do the whole thing in context. And now just one more bend there, back to that 12th fret of G. And now we're going to do a 6th riff that's going to go down the neck. And this is kind of stealing from Honky Tonk Attitude, the steel solo on that. And it's really borrowing from it. About the first half of that is kind of borrowing from that. And so what we're going to do here, we're all on the G and the B and the high E string. The G and the high E string. We're going to use our pick on the B string and cluck with our finger the high E string. And we're sliding up to the 14th fret of each. And now you slide them both back and then pick the 12th of G. So, real slow. And now we're going to slide in. We're on a D chord, right? So you can see we're kind of working down. And now we're going to hit the D 6th. And we're going to be going down here. So this is 11 and 10. And this is 9 and 8. So from the top of the riff here, we're up to 14. And then we're sliding into this D and sliding them down 2 frets each. And then we have this. All right, so we're sliding in again, 7, and then of G, 7 of high E. And then this is kind of a color note, that E note, 5th fret of B. And then just move these down 1 fret each to the 6th fret, and then we're ready for the next part. Now we're into the second part of the solo. So we just got done with. Then we do. All right, and that's over the G chord. So we just got done. And then we're going to keep going down 7 and 7 to 6, 6. Little ghost note, or if you want to hit the note, no problem. On the 5th fret of G, and then 5th of high E. And so then we're outlining a G7 chord, right? So we're sliding into this 4th fret of G, kind of barring, you can kind of bar up here, the 3rd fret, high E, and then pinky finger. And you kind of want to, that's another steely move, you want to let these notes ring out if you can. And then we do these bends. We got 7 of G, 8 of B, and we're going to do 2 bends. And then resolve this next one down to the 5th fret of G. And now we're to the C chord, and we do this. All right, so again, we're switching over to this real steely position here. We got 7, and then we're going all the way over to the high E string on 8, and we're going to swell that in while we bend. Cluck the high E string, come back down, resolve to the 5th fret, and then 2 more bends when you're picking and clucking. Now we're going to be going all the way back up here to the 12th fret. You know, if you're thinking pentatonic, it'd be position 5, diatonic, it'd be position 6, and we're going to end it like this. All right. So we've got a bend on the 14th fret, and we're gonna have our pinky finger 15 of high E. And then we're gonna leave that bend, but walk the pinky down to 14, and then 12 with your pointer finger on the high E string. Now you can just resolve the bend and get your pinky on 14 with some nice vibrato, and then down to here, which is 9 of G and 8 of high E. And then for this last one, we've got time to get our pinky down there, your volume pedal, and swell that last one in with some nice vibrato. All right, guys, and that's the whole thing. So let's do that again one more time, nice and slow. And then, this one's at 82 beats per minute. So it's short, you can memorize it. I'd recommend getting everything under your fingers, getting it memorized, and starting it nice and slow, maybe on 50, 55 beats per minute, bumping it up gradually. But here's one a little under tempo, and when you're ready, you can play along with the jam along and the backing track. All right, so here's how it looks one more time.